Hello and welcome. This is Angie with thecountrysheetcottage.net. So today we're going to talk about making a reverse canvas, and I made a design that's kind of appropriate for this time of year. So if you want this seriously wash your hands cut file, you can leave a comment below and I will drop you a link to the Cricut cut file for this one. But let's look at how to make a reverse canvas. We just take a regular canvas, kind of turn it backwards, and put that frame that's on the inside of your canvas out. So let's take a look at how to do that. So the supplies you'll need for this project are canvas itself. So I'm using one, and all canvases have a wood frame, and depending on the brand will be what the wood frame looks like when you remove it. You'll need some type of wood finish for your frame. So I like to use a wood finishing cloth, are my favorite, with a stain on them. You'll need some kind of craft knife and a hot glue gun for the frame itself once you remove it. And then you'll need some heat transfer vinyl. So I'm using a navy blue heat transfer vinyl, and this actually, it's a brand called B-Flex, and I'll drop a link below on where to get this. So I'm trying it for the first time just to test it. And then you'll need something to apply the heat transfer vinyl. I'm going to use my large Easy Press as well as my Easy Press mat, and then you'll need your Cricut machine to cut it. So let's take the frame apart first. So take the frame out of the canvas and start on that, and then while the stain dries we can cut our heat transfer vinyl. So we're going to start with the canvas and just flip it over. Then use your craft knife, and then we're going to cut on the outside of these staples. So you have the staples and cut on the outside. You don't have to worry about the wood under this at all. Once you've cut, you want to cut all the way through, and it should start to peel away from the frame itself. You want to do this on all four sides. Then once it's completely cut away, you can just lift the frame out and see what kind of frame you had on the inside. So the side we cut on, of course, is the back of the frame now, so we don't have to worry about it at all. We can just stain the front side, what is now the front, with our stain. Now these frames will be slightly rustic, so they'll have like staples in the corner and things like that. I don't remove any of that because I like a rustic look. So let's go ahead and stain this and then allow it to dry. Alright, so I'm just going to use one of the cloths. So you can use any stain you like for this. These cloths are just super convenient. And I'm just going to rub the stain onto my surface, allow it to sit a few minutes, rub away all the excess with a rag. And while you don't need to stain the back, you will need to stain all of the sides because those will be visible on your finished project. So this is that frame once the stain is complete, and I'm going to set this aside, allow it to dry, and I'm going to go ahead and use my Cricut machine to cut my heat transfer vinyl. Alright, so I've cut the heat transfer vinyl. So this again is the B-Flex, and I'm giving it a try. So it's actually only a 285 for 4 seconds. So I have my Easy Press heating up off screen, and we're going to weed away all the excess. So I'm trimming away some of the excess around the outside so I can use that on another project. And then we'll just weed away the excess from our design. So I mirrored my cut, and I cut this shiny side down on the mat just like you would any heat transfer vinyl. And then we're just going to peel back and get rid of all the excess around the outside, as well as things like the centers of letters. So here's my completely weeded design, still on the transfer sheet. And so I'm just going to add it to approximately the center of the canvas. Now, when it comes to the canvas, I'm going to press it on the back of the canvas. So this is like a rougher texture, sort of an off-white color, a little more rustic. You can also use the front of the canvas. So it would be like more white, clean look. So my house is like a farmhouse style, so I usually use the back, but you can definitely use the front as well. So what I'm going to do, first I'm going to press the canvas itself just for a couple seconds. Get rid of any moisture in the fabric. Then we're going to locate the design back again. Tell you what, we'll put it this way so it'll be really flat. And then I'm going to do the 4 seconds and we'll lift up. Then I'm going to let this cool for just a few seconds, so it will be extremely hot when you lift that easy press off. And then we're just going to peel back this carrier sheet, making sure everything's stuck well to our canvas. If it's not, you just replace the canvas and press it once more. Everything looks really good. And I'm seriously impressed with this heat transfer vinyl. So really nice. So now let's take our piece with our heat transfer vinyl and our frame that's stained and put this project together. All right, the first thing we're going to need to do is trim away some of this excess. So I have my dried frame here and my piece with the heat transfer vinyl on it. And we're just going to locate it centered. So that's pretty good. So then I just kind of want to mark the corners. So I'm going to mark it just with a Sharpie. And I'm going to mark on the canvas in each corner. And then I like to just use a pair of scissors and just go slightly inside where I marked and just trim away the excess material. Now you can trim away like any you miss after you get it onto your frame. But this just gets rid of a majority of it right now. Alright, so now that I have everything trimmed up, I can try the frame again. So center it up. And I can kind of double check to see if I've gotten as much of the excess as possible. And I might trim these two sides once again. So you can just kind of do that a few times. Or you can wait till you have it on the frame and just trim with your craft knife again. I think I might just trim a small strip off both these sides. Now that looks pretty good. So now we can start adding the hot glue. So what we're going to do is flip this frame over. We're just going to add a bead of hot glue all the way around the outside. Then once you have your hot glue, you just turn this over. And because we'd already centered that up, you should just be able to lay it on. Locate it. And just flip it over once. Make sure it looks pretty good. And press it down really well all along the sides as the glue cools. And there you have your reverse canvas. So this project is so simple and super, super inexpensive. So a pack of canvases is super cheap at the craft store. We're ordering through Amazon. I'll drop some affiliate links below so you can order those. And I'll drop a link as well to that B-Flex heat transfer vinyl that I used that I really liked. So make this sign for your bathroom right now. Be sure those kids and adults are washing their hands and stay healthy. So thank y'all so much for joining me. If you loved this video and loved this project, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss any of our videos. We have Cricut videos every single week. And if you have any comments about anything we've made today, please feel free to drop in the comment section below and ask those. So thank y'all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.